Welcome to another ECM Vision Studio painting video. Well, today's going to be a sketchbook video, and this is my sketchbook here. I usually have this clipped on the outside, and I keep some pens in here, usually a brush pen and then like a fine tip pen. And what I like about the sketchbook is that it's absolute freedom. Don't have to worry too much about making sense. And I also can do studies. And the sketchbook is such a great daily practice. And it's basically like where all a lot of seeds for other works come from. And recently I've been really into just opening it up and picking a page and not going through the book in a linear fashion. Thinking a little bit just to help disrupt time and building in a framework of not worrying about linear time in art. I think that can be a setback for me, at least. So if I just open it up randomly every time, then I'm like just kind of dipping in time in different places, and then I can go back into them and work on them and don't have to worry too much about this idea of progression, or it's all happening at the same time. So I usually just kind of start making marks and see what happens. I did bring out some photo references today that I ripped out of a magazine today. Just random stuff. I kind of like the posture of this guy here. That would be fun to work from. And then these people here. I'm more interested in her hand and seeing how I could maybe use this here. So we'll see if we get into that. I've also got this acrylic paint pen, the brush, and then some India ink too if I want to do some wash. Some ink. It's a pretty nice sketchbook, so I can take a lot of the water. Just kind of loosening up my hand. So I live right in downtown Honolulu, so it's hard to cut out atmosphere sounds. So you'll definitely hear a lot of the street traffic. A little bit of a real life atmosphere. So just kind of getting in here. Maybe I'll start sketching sketching this a little. I like to work on both sides. I used to only stick to the one side and then leave the other side blank. But now the sketchbook, everything is free reign, free territory to do whatever I want. So I can do things like this. Looks like it's time for a new brush pen. This is drying out a little bit, but I really like these marks, this kind of dry brush look. And I've been thinking about these. I use the tunnel a lot in my work, and I've been thinking about like an all over composition of the tunnel forms, kind of like these arches. And in my sketchbook, I generally work pretty quickly just to get the ideas out. Try not to overthink it. And got this little glass here with my brushes. The water's pretty dirty, so I can kind of just use what's already in there. So the tunnels, what do the tunnels mean for me? Well, they mean kind of a lot of different things, but primarily moments of transition. Because the tunnel, I mean, I basically will draw and paint them as an entry point, but with tunnel, you've got two ends. So you go in, and then you go through this state of almost like suspension. Like if you're in a car, you're driving through a tunnel, sometimes the radio cuts out. It's a totally different environment for a short period of time, and then you come out the other end in a different place. And I like to use that in my work to show in the composition that there might be something else going on in the composition, but I like to put a tunnel in the work, just to kind of give a feel that, there's another place to go to within that world that I built. Sort of like a portal. I mean, these compositions I make are already kind of like alternate universes, but maybe the tunnel is the tunnel to the world or the reality that we experience, or maybe it's a tunnel to another alternate reality. I like that kind of thinking when I'm making the work. I think the form itself I've been working with for a long time, but it became more personal when I was living on the east side of Oahu. And to get from the east side to Honolulu, you have to go through the Polytunnel Highway, and it goes through the Ko'olau Mountains. And it's a really beautiful drive through the mountain, through these tunnels. And for me, that was really significant. I would ride the bus a lot from the east side to Honolulu. And on those bus rides, I had a lot of time to think about things and noticed that the tunnel had this really big effect from going from the east side, which is a little bit more, I guess, country, maybe suburban, just a different feel, has a little bit less urban, basically. And then when you're going into Honolulu, as soon as you pop out, pretty soon you can see the skyline of the city. And vice versa, when you're popping out, going towards the east side, you like automatically can see the water, the ocean line, and it definitely has a more calm feel, I think, once you pop out on the other side. So there's this kind of polytunnel effect that happens. What's going on with her arm, or his arm, their arm? I'm not sure, but this is what's happening tonight. And then here we've got, it looks like kind of like a mountain range. This face is looking super weird. Yeah, we'll go with this. Not really feeling the face, so just gonna go in with a little bit of white. Actually, that's a lot of white. So the sketchbook, it's just a very intuitive process. You can make all the mistakes you want. Just do anything you want. It's my favorite place to be. Oh, I wonder what this is going to turn out to be. Oh, on Instagram, this guy I follow, I don't know why I haven't thought about it, but I probably have used it in the past and I totally forgot about it, but he was painting his bike and he used a toothbrush to get this speckle. And I forgot to bring it, but I really wanted to experiment with that because generally I like to use brushes that are a little kind of mangled. That way I can get some cool textures. But the toothbrush idea, that's great. I really want to work with that because he was getting like these cool speckles. Hmm. Expert advice. So doing away with that mouth entirely for something a little bit more weird. I think it was the painter Tall R. He's from Europe. Can't remember where. But I think he would use the actual canvas to mix his colors on. So you'll see these areas kind of like this. Just kind of random abstract areas. So we'd use the actual painting as a palette. I like random mark making in paintings. Throws things off, makes you question things. Highlight there. Little highlight. So, I mean, I don't think anything is ever really finished necessarily in a sketchbook, but so everything is open to go back into and rework and cover up and all that. So definitely, I think this is a pretty good start on something interesting. Tonight was just about loosening up, just playing a little bit, kind of seeing what would come out. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in hearing more about what I do. I want to learn how to talk a little bit more about my process while I'm doing it. I'm usually pretty in it, so this is kind of a new experience of making and talking at the same time. So if there's anything you want to hear me talk about, or I guess I can just get into it. But yeah, any feedback would be great. a little highlight on here. Just enough. Just enough. Sometimes that's all you need is just enough. It's my palette. I think the India ink and brush is by far my favorite to draw with. You can just get a really good expressive marks with it. I believe in resourcefulness, so use what you got. So if there's something on here, I try to use what I got. Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty good session for tonight. You got a taste of what I do in my sketchbook, and we'll continue more with these. Maybe in the future we'll go back into this one. If not, we'll go and just start some new ones, and you can kind of track how I build on ideas. So thanks for joining, and please like and subscribe. Stay updated with future painting and drawing videos. Also want to mention to check out my website, ecmvisionstudio.com. I have original artwork, I have prints, and I have some apparel available. Also check me out on Instagram at @ECM_vision. All right, thank you. Bye.